G'day, everybody. How are we all? Hopefully, everybody's fine on this lovely Wacky Weekend. Here I am, still in Serbia, and this guy is somewhere in Germany.
We are in the northeast corner of Germany in Rostock.
Yeah, so straight slingshot to the north.
Well, we went further north and further east today. We just got back about 45, 50 minutes ago.
Okay.
No, that's not right either. Half an hour ago? Somewhere in there, yeah.
All right, I'll start by saying a g'day, and Randall Ellison, you got the cookie. Sorry, buddy, no cookies at the moment. A lot of nice cakes though. And Tammy, how are you? Watermelon ice cream. Sorry, I ate all the what was left of it today. There was a volleyball carnival going on down here in downtown. But I did find a nice ice cream and gelato. It's called Dubai Chocolate, and I tell you what, it is scrumptious. Andy, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're well. CMD, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're doing all right. Jean Ricard, look, bud, I'm still streaming in your time zone when you're awake. While you're awake. Raymond, how are you? Raymond Legs. Sorry, I'm going to be swatting around here at the moment tonight.
Wait, did you say you're going to be swanning about?
Swatting about. I got my skit.
Oh, swatting. Swatting. I thought you said swanning, and I thought that was interesting.
Jesus, some strange noises. Yeah.
For Americans who don't know, swanning about is an old UK term and even an old American term meaning walking around and acting effeminate.
What? What? Lintree, how are you, buddy? Here we are back in our normal selves. Yeah. It's been a busy, hectic week. I haven't done any rail fanning this week. As some of you people may be aware, people have been looking at my Facebook page. I think I did make a mention of it last week. This week I've been dealing with my grandfather's house, which finally has come down. It's all been fenced up and no more access into it. Unfortunately, the land now falls to the Republic of Serbia. Whether we can get the land back or not, I don't know. But with everything that's going on around here, I don't think it's worth the effort and worth the money. Because after looking around the town here, so they're still on the verge of, how would I call it? I wouldn't even say, it almost seems like they're still on the verge of modernisation. Well, in the dark ages, in between the two, combining the two, and but it's been interesting. Like there's always been a question about where the things went that was inside the house, because there's old war medals and no, it's not a Soviet holdover town, buddy. No, definitely not. G'day, March West Junction. How are you, buddy? Yeah, one of the neighbours, a couple of doors down, decided upon himself that he's going to go and start removing things out of, including the bathtub, and trying to find some historical things from the family and from my grandfather is pretty much non-existent. But during the demolition, we did come across. Sorry about it, I'm just going to enlarge myself. We actually came across it yesterday during the final bit of cleanup. A photo taken in 1988, Christmas 1988, when I was 20 years old. There's not much left of the photo, but there's me in a white shirt. I just finished doing a coach trip from Melbourne to Sydney, basically, and my brother that's in the middle, he would have been 7 there. My stepfather there, and I think that is my mum. My mum is down in here.
Give me a Hanuta. Or better yet, Ritter.
Yeah, so this photo we actually found by accident. I was in the dust, but it was yeah, I did have hair then, Tammy. Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, that's right, Ivo. Yeah, that's what it was. So that was one thing, and I don't have it here with me, but we did find an old postcard that was the what would have been one of the last postcards that my eldest uncle or my grandfather's eldest son actually sent to him, but there's no picture on it, but we do see the writing and the old stamps when it still used to be Yugoslavia, so that was right on the fringe of 1990, 1991. So yeah, but it was amazing when we started demolishing the house, when you actually look at the construction the way it was. Albanian coaches don't exist. I'm not going to go down that far south, unfortunately. I have been actually told not to go down that far because it's too close to Kosovo over there, and there's a lot of unrest down there. And I've been told to avoid the area, so I won't be going down there. It's a shame because there are a lot of good old train museums down there, as well as there's a not miniature, there was actually a narrow gauge railway line there that climbs up in the mountains. Sadly, I won't be going down there this time. I'm just not going to put myself at risk. Plus, the rental car company says no, you don't go down there, so I'm not gonna mess that up. But yeah, the interesting how, because that house goes back for about a good 150 plus years, and seeing how it was done with a combination of it wasn't even straw. It was like it was straw, but it was almost the thickness of bamboo, like the cane sort of thing. No, I'm not going to go there, Tammy. I'm not going to go there. I mean, I've had a few scares already, and unfortunately, it was in Germany. One which was on the actual Monday before I left, which was at Hamburg Station. You know, on the other side, Anthony, like, you know, where you went down the stairs on the other side there. I went to try to get some photographs and that, but there was police and protesters there, and there was 2 water cannons there. So I thought, no, I'm out of here. And
yeah, the water cannons were there to stop the counter protest by the AfD, the new German Nazi party.
I don't know what was going on over there, but the one down in Heidelberg, that was actually LGBT BQ.
Yeah, well, it's Pride Month in Germany, so you have all the. One of the fun things I used to enjoy when we'd take our students to Berlin is sometimes we'd be at St. Christoph's weekend, or Christoph's weekend, which was the gay parade. And nothing like watching a bunch of starry-eyed American 15 and 16-year-olds staring at a huge line of drag queens and very, very underdressed men and such marching and so forth. It was quite educational.
Lots and lots of feathers.
It's fine that they were doing the march down Heidelberg, but when they started protesting for more rights, I'm sorry, I drew the line because they got a fair bit of recognition there in Germany itself. So it was just nerve-wracking. Like, I mean, I know I'm here for a holiday. I know some of them are got their what's his name? They've got their causes as such, and some of them are the causes that you probably would go out there, but when you already got something and then you're demanding more, and disrupting people's lives. I mean, even the locals were getting fed up with it. But with that all being done, I still made the most of it. I did end up going. I left Heidelberg a bit earlier than what I expected. What fancy food are you eating, Anthony and Joyce? Oh, okay. What's that? Cacao
It's called
mousse.
Ritter Cacao Mousse. Cacao mousse. It is very good chocolate with chocolate mousse inside, and it is my favorite chocolate. And this is the low budget German chocolate. You know, it's not the high end stuff. But it's Ritter. They make about 80 different flavors of chocolate, and
Ooh, yum.
oh, they're good. But that's my favorite.
Yeah, well, I've
See,
been.
Tammy said she didn't want you to go somewhere dangerous. I thought that was her way of saying you don't need to come down to South Carolina and visit her. Because last time you were there was a lot of wooden spoons being shaken about.
Being handed around, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. I mean, look, a hell of a lot of violence down that into the country too. Yeah, so.
Well, odds are it was probably deserved, but I'll hold judgment on that as I wasn't there.
I can't believe there's a freight train going down on the line now. Yeah, that'd be right. Freight trains in the middle of the night. But even though I had to cut my visit to Heidelberg a bit short, I did manage to get down to my connection point where I managed to get some videos of trains coming through, and everybody thinks that the last video I put up was like Anthony's train set. Wait till you see the next one. But hang on a minute, he hasn't got a TGV yet.
No, I don't have a TGV or a Thalys.
Or Thalys?
Although technically Thalys is now owned by Eurostar, but oh well.
Yeah, the Thalys, yeah, well. You haven't got one on order, have you? Yeah, no.
Never had a Thalys, never had a TGV.
Yeah, all right. So I had the Thalys or the Wee. Wee. The snoring is crazy. My snoring is not that bad. Jeez. I only get poked I got poked in the airlines on the flight over to shut up, but apart from that, my snoring is not that bad. I just make it up for the quietness since the jet engine you don't hear so much. Someone had to make up for the noise difference. But I end up spending nearly a good hour at the connecting train station where I caught the IC back to Frankfurt. I tell you what, Frankfurt train station is an interesting train station. Because I was staying at the airport at our Hilton Garden Inn, which I found was in a pretty good location, pretty quiet there too. And if one doesn't look at the destination board, they can get off at the wrong station. Like I end up getting off at the station down at Frankfurt, Maine. And it's like one stop away from where I had to come off. First time I got on, they go, "Beauty, I'm here." Hang on, this is not the train station, airport. And there goes my train. Second time I got off and I go, oh shit, sorry, on the wrong train, the wrong station, get back on. Or the classic one when I got back from Detmond is he missed both stations and ended up in Strasbourg about 8 o'clock at night. That wasn't fun.
Strasbourg or Stuttgart?
Pardon? Stuttgart. Yeah. I like
Strasbourg, you would have been in France, and that would have been even funnier.
Wouldn't it ever, eh? That would have been. They would have really. That would have been a real good adventure.
On slam, madame.
Yeah. Thank God that I had a.
Yeah, Gemma Pell Artie.
Thank God I had a Euro pass. So.
Je suis Australiane.
And hey,
Ooh, the kangaroos.
The trip is an adventure, isn't it? It's be almost like the mystery tour.
Every trip's a trip.
Yep. And every destination is a destination that's worth exploring. I definitely will be back. I will be going back to explore Germany and some other parts. I'm now in the middle of planning my. G'day, Ray. How are you, buddy? Tomorrow I'm going to be starting to plan my next part of my trip since the main thing that I came over here for is complete. I'm going to start heading into Bosnia. I'm going to try to get into there. I'm getting mixed information about the details of entering. My travel that TripAdvisor turns around and says you need EST and like the visa waiver and that. But when I talk to the locals here, say no, you don't need it. So it's going to be a hit and a miss when I get there. Possibly this time next week. I will be heading down that way. Tomorrow I'm going out to do some rail spotting around here. I'm going to go to a place called Kikenda, which is to the east of here, where the lines actually went. I think the line connects up towards Bulgaria and Romania.
Now you said rail spotting.
Spotting trains.
I've heard of train spotting and rail fanning. Rail spotting sounds different. Like there's a rail.
Well, basically, some parts around here, it is rail spotting. You got to try to spot the rails because it's that overgrown with weeds and grass and forest and you name it. So that's mine. That's the next thing on my agenda is to plan the trip from here into Bosnia, and then from Bosnia, I'm going down to Croatia. If I don't make it into Bosnia, sadly, I will be going down to Croatia, and as long as it doesn't get blown away, because they had some wicked storms there this week.
Wicked storms everywhere, man.
So they look like it. Yes, they do. G'day, Steve. Peace out. How are you, buddy? Well, they do. Just coming here from Belgrade, a couple of lines that's just down the road from here. They are now abandoned, and there are some old wheat silos. So that might be worth a trip. I might go down there and get some old photos. But weather-wise here, it's been I wouldn't say completely magic, but it's been hot. Just hope it stays that way now that the work's done. I can go and do a bit of sightseeing. And now, there was something I did do during the week, early in the week. What was it? Tuesday with my cousin. Let me see if I've got it up in here. No, I haven't. We actually, he took me for a ride on the on his boat up along the Tissa, and we actually came up to an archaeologist digging site in up along the Tissa, and near one of the islands. I'll just show you some of the photos from there, from where. I won't be able to do it here. They're going to let me do that there. Hang on, just give me a moment. I see. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Bloody hell. Okay. That's not going to let me do that. Just bear with me for a minute. And they're actually believing that where the original township used to be, there is actually a tunnel that goes from there to the old church remains. And it's really got me intrigued because it's one part of the history around here that it's like it's almost like a myth, but it's not a myth. It's don't know how to describe it. Where's the photo go? Oh, here they are. Okay, where did it go? No, bugger off. Where did it go? Oh, it didn't come up, did it? No. Yeah, just bear with me for a minute, guys. Bloody computers. Curly, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Sorry, I was just somewhere else for the moment on my computer. I'm trying to find okay, I'll have to do it this way. Okay, here we go. Let me just share this. So this is basically the wharf area where the old the wharf area or the old tower. There used to be an old tower there, more to the left. What they call them, like the guard tower sort of thing, which was to the left of it. But there is a digging right behind that tree, which I'm going to share in a minute. No. Ray, if you and me got into this boat, the boat would sink. Yeah, it'd be very, very waterline. So as you see here, that brickwork there is close to that brickwork that you see there is over 1,000 years old. And that's what remains of it. I can't believe that brickwork like that has lasted so long. And when you look at the modern day buildings, they don't last as long as what they do.
No, but that's something that they've just discovered. If depending on who built it, if it was built by Byzantine forces or Serbian forces or whatever, is that the Romans actually did a type of concrete or cement that had a hollow element to it with lime, or
Yeah.
so that if it got wet, it sealed and fixed the crack itself. If it cracked and water got in, the inner layer sealed and repaired the crack itself.
Yeah, well, that's right, and there are signs, and it has been in the tales or in the legends or in the history that yes, we did have the Romans up in here, and particularly with Attila Hun being in this area. All jokes aside, I mean, Attila Hun did roam around this area, and it's believed that one of the little island just upper opposite it, that spot is the final resting spot, or somewhere along there is the final resting spot for Attila the Hun. Some people will call him barbarians, but a lot of Hungarians will call him a warrior, basically. Let me just get this other photo up. Oh, good. I've got the arrows up. Fantastic. So you're going to play the game. This was acting up on me last week. So, but there's still the story of the missing gold from the old church. I think I shared a bit of a footage with the old church ruins. During one of the wars and whatnot, there was a holy priest in there. And there's a series of tunnels that lead from there and scatter all over the countryside. Now, the legend goes, or the story goes, that this priest was surrounded, and it was the Turks actually, that won the gold. But when they managed to go into the church, there was nobody in there. There was no gold. There was no priest. No nothing. But it's never been found. Even to this day, it hasn't been found. And there have been archaeology trips and whatnot trying to locate a lot of it. Now, this is on the shore. Now, you're looking probably about close to 15 plus feet deep. And that's the brickwork from back then. It goes in quite deep. Start digging. I'm not digging. Well, somewhere around here, they believe that there is actually a tunnel that actually goes from here that goes back over into the what we call around here the Pusta Temple, which is a church remains. That there's actually a series of tunnels go there, but they stopped the exhibition there back in 2019. Whether they're going to come back out again, we don't know. They have found some artifacts in this area between here and the old church, which is in Hungary. I don't know if I'll get there this time around, but I'm going to inquire for it because I do want to trace the history here, but I really want to, what's really got me intrigued is I really want to look back on my family tree and see how far back I can trace it into. There's always been a big clash with Hungarians and a lot of other empires that have just been trying to get this land over and over and over again. We get it back and then we lose it again. It's very rich in agricultural ground here. It's got very fertile ground, so you can see why it was, particularly back then, why it was so sought after land. Raymond, it was almost, g'day Raymond, yeah, it was almost like that here today. It was 93, it was a bit cooler today. The last few days it was in the high 90s. But it was dry heat, we had no humidity. So that's what's actually, that's a bit more of the brickwork. I mean, it's just fascinating. It's hard even to say that's brickwork. You can almost say that's concrete, couldn't you? You can just about call that concrete. Now, but it's lasted. What are we? We're in. You can basically say it's lasted over 1,000 years. 1,000. I'll say between 1,000 to 1,100 years. Yeah, it does. It does. That's right. It does look like concrete. Yeah, maybe when I'm driving, then Stevie can say some of that over here. Yeah, it does look like concrete, and it's pretty hard. But as Anthony said, there would have been the times when they were using lime and whatever other. See, we have a lot of clay around here. You mix lime and clay together, you get mortar. And that's what a lot of bricks are made out of. There is a lot of clay around here. They're making terracotta tiles. There was even that ceramic type of clay where they would make wall tiles, if you know, as such, but they run out of that. Okay. My family is actually, the origin is actually Hungarian. Not so much Serbia. We actually now fall into the Serbian territory. The Serbians actually ones that they are the one that acquired this land, and I believe they acquired it during World War One. But a lot of people around here still, particularly in this town, a good 70% plus still consider themselves Hungarians. And a lot of times they go, "Are you Hungarian or are you Serbian?" I'm going, "No, I'm Australian." But then I go, "No, are you Hungarian or are you Serbian?" And I'm like, "What? I'm actually Hungarian." Then they start talking Hungarian to me. Today I was down transferring some money home. And of course, I had to use my passport, and the person looks at my passport and goes, "You Hungarian?" Go, "Mum is," and then all of a sudden it went from Serbian language to automatically bang Hungarian. So that's the way it is around here. If you turn around and say Hungarian, the Serbian language goes to the background, and they start talking Hungarian, which is good. Okay, Curly, I probably will be missing it because I want to get it. Yeah, Magyar, exactly. We call ourselves Magyars.
Yeah.
Like the original Hungarian territory region, and it's debatable, but the original Hungarian territory goes to what is now Belgrade, or Novi Belgrade, which is New Belgrade, which sits on the north of the Danube River.
All part of an area of the Roman Empire called Pannonia, which originally was inhabited by Celtic peoples who were then chased out by Germanic people, who were then chased out by Slavic people, who were chased out and came back, from the various
And the
Asian
Ottomans
steppes,
came
such
in.
as the Huns and the Magyars, who call themselves descendants of the Huns, although genetically they're not related. They consider themselves the descendants of the Huns, the Magyars.
Yeah.
The most Huns really aren't Magyar, or most Hungarians aren't really Magyar anymore either.
You could basically say, you can almost say, like, back in them days, this area here will be like what the Middle East is today. there was always fort over it in this area here. But from here right up to Budapest, between Budapest and Belgrade itself, there's so much history, and I would love to explore it and just to see what my ancestors went through. Now that we've got a bit more freedom to move around, I mean, it'll be very intriguing to know. Now, with the rail system, the rail is actually what interests me, what brought the railway through this town. I mean, the railway line's been here since before World War One, and I noticed they've only just upgraded in the last 3 years. They've actually upgraded this, or 2 years they've upgraded this line. But what brought the line through here? Why did they choose this destination? I know we're rich in agriculture, like your wheat and barley. Actually, they just about finished the wheat, now they're onto the barley. Yes, we did have the brickworks, but the brickworks only been here 50, maybe 55 years. No, sorry. The brickworks hadn't been here 60 years. So what's brought the rail line through here? That's something that we'll be looking into while I'm still here. We'll be spending another week within this region. But yeah, I mean, it's a strange town. You remember how we were down in Goulburn there, Anthony, last year? You know how you had the old architect when the time stayed still. This place will be.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, the time I say this time stood still here from about 1910. Yeah, you do get a couple of little. You got a couple of new buildings, but I mean, the sealed roads. I mean, they're only as wide as the car, except for your main road. And you were talking last night about dodging bicycles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, around here at Seabourn West, you got old grandmas and whatnot just going up in front of you at about just a little bit slower than the walking pace, right in front of you on the bike. I don't know how they don't fall over. G'day, March West Junction. How are you, buddy? And then you got to try to overtake them. But as you're about to overtake them, they decide, oh, I'm going to make a left-hand turn in front of you. Oh, boy. Thank God for dash cams. I'm going to have to try to get some of those footages off my dash cam if I can. Oh, I tell you what, it's been... And then you get the horse and carts. They still got them running around. You got the... Oh, let me see if I can bring that up.
Well, at least you get to see the horses, because today in this part of Germany was apparently National Fertilize Your Young Lawn and Flower Days. Joyce and I walked outside, and anytime you passed a garden, all you could smell was manure. And then everywhere we went today, if we walked past parks and everything else, the smell of manure was everywhere. Once we got down to the beaches, it was okay. But if you walk past some of the city parks in a couple of different cities, or like even we live in a very urban section of Rostock right here, but there is a park, but there are some gardens, flower beds in the front. And boy, you got within, and it was like, did they parade the cows through here today?
I tell you what, they've only just had their sewer system put in here like 14 months ago. And not everybody is hooked up to the sewer system yet. And we've got open canals here. Particularly with the people next door, like the gypsies next door to my cousin's place, they still throw everything out in the main channel out the front. In my grandfather's street, across the road, a couple of houses, yeah, everything's still going out to the front street. So, yeah, we get a bit of woof of the animal and the humans both at the same time. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
no, my only problem personally today was I was covered in salt.
You were covered in salt. Well, at least you're not going to get in. At least you won't have any problems with.
I officially swam in the Baltic Sea today. I officially did. I was in waters connecting the North Sea to the Baltic Sea, but I officially dove and swam in the Baltic Sea today, and it was epically cool.
Okay, now I'm going to have.
Cold, but today the weather forecasters can't get right because like today was supposed to get up to 74 and it got up over 80. Yesterday was supposed to be 67 and it went to 75. They're always 8 to 10 degrees off. It was hot at the beaches today, and we went to a lot of different beaches today.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I'll show you how. I mean, they really they get themselves very resourceful here. Let me see if this will come up.
Yeah, water temperature was about 60 degrees Celsius, I think they were saying. Yeah, kind of cold. Not 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 17, 18 degrees Celsius. The one beach had a sign up saying it was 17. It felt warmer than that until you till you got to about waist deep, and then all of a sudden it was cold.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a Serbian road train. Let me just kill the volume down a bit. This is why we're doing a cleaning up at my grandfather's place. The Serbian road train. Not bad, eh? Yeah, I had to have a laugh. I had to have a laugh at that when they came through. I've got to get some more shots of that. I didn't have the camera on me, but I actually saw one of the farmers 2 streets away that actually had horses pulling 2 carts behind it. So yeah, it was quite hilarious actually. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can dig up another one. Did Joyce go in as well, Anthony?
Well, she went out to up about her knees, but she did not dive in the water.
Right. Yeah.
It's still a little nippy for her, or to quote
Yeah.
Abbott Costello, a little bit nipply. Nippy in the water still.
Nipply. Let me see. Where's the other video of them coming through? Just give me a sec.
So Joyce did not go full submerge. She's saying she's going to do it tomorrow at Barnamunda because
that big a deal. The broadcast.
people asked. I made a big deal that I went in. Had nothing to do with you.
And then we'll see if it's this one. No, that's not the one. I'll end up stitching up. Just keep an eye out for it, people. So, but I'll tell you what, around here, you really, I've got to, you really got to watch out for the wildlife around here. They really attack your footwear, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I think everybody's seen how vicious that tiger is, that cat that we got over here, attacking the drop bears. This is what it does to my flip-flops. It's actually attacking, and yeah, it's attacking my toes there. It's attacking the flip-flops. Do you need? I hear you need a couple of new cats there, Anthony.
Yeah, like I need another hole in the head.
Right. I mean, it's even got into my boots. I mean, but these are the flip flops that I'm wearing, and yeah, yeah, midnight kitten. Yeah, that's what it is, Raymond. I tell you what, it's taken my socks and it's taken it under the lounge, and he's actually sleeping now, thank God. Usually he'd be like I'm outside here, doing things, and he'd be attacking my toes. So you'd be heading back to your lovely home this week, Anthony, is that correct?
We get home Wednesday late afternoon. Yep. Tomorrow is our last day here in Rostock. Then Monday morning we are taking a long train ride to Frankfurt, and then spending 2 nights in Frankfurt, but just one day. And then that's just to get us a day to relax and get ready for the 8-hour flight, because the train ride on Monday is going to be a little sketchy because we arrive on platform 8 and we have to go to platform 6. So it's really just up one set of stairs and over, and they're both ICE, so they'll be in the same place, but you have to go up the stairs, around and down. But we have an 8-minute transfer window, and considering how many trains we've had delayed and connections we've missed, we're a little leery of our trip to Frankfurt. We're supposed to get into Frankfurt about 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. No, check that. More like 4:30 p.m. And we probably won't. We're betting we won't get there till 6 or so.
Well, they have been saying, like I know when I've been traveling around Frankfurt itself, they have been saying that a lot of trains have been held up, waiting for connecting trains, because there are some lines where they're actually down to a single line doing track work.
I got to talk to a couple of people with Deutsche Bahn and a guy I know online that works with Deutsche Bahn. And apparently they are totally, they can't just shut the train system down for a month or two, but they are redoing their entire operation system, and it's got everything in chaos. And yet they're trying to keep things running, but between new drivers, new driver training, new route designs, new high-speed rail lines going in, it's chaos. And he said, hopefully in 2 years, things will be back to normal.
Because somewhere between Frankfurt Airport and Frankfurt and Hanover is where they're actually doing a fair chunk of the track. And the trains are not going that fast through it. I mean, because they're still doing the track work. Not that I've seen anyone working, but I mean that really does slow things down. It is what it is, but I did notice in Frankfurt itself they're cleaning up. They're doing a lot of work on the Frankfurt station itself. If you're going downtown, I noticed they've been scrubbing down the walls and rejuvenating the station.
On it.
Pardon?
I said it's all the late night drunkers who go in there and piss on it.
Oh no, they're doing
they've been doing a crap load of work on Frankfurt Airport, which you've just experienced a couple of times. So Joyce and I got to make sure we get there, get through security and everything on time.
Yeah. That's the terminal where you go on and get Delta. That side over there is a nightmare. Because I had to go there the following day after you guys left. I had to go there.
It was messed up 2 years ago when we went through it. So we'll just have to figure out how to get around and how to get to it. We just have to give ourselves a lot more time to make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
What?
Crackfoot. Well, it felt like that, CMD. I tell you what, I actually did feel a little bit uneasy around some of the streets in Frankfurt, particularly when I was trying to find a Vodafone dealer down through there and just walking the streets. I tell you what, I was hanging onto my back pocket. But when as I walked a bit further up trying to find those city tour buses, then I got over to the Eurobank or the Euro Central Bank. No, I didn't get any free samples, unfortunately. I was trying to look for the entrance, but it was too heavily fortified and guarded. I couldn't get in there. But I see a lot of structures there that have actually water blasted just to get that blackness off it, and they've actually come up pretty good. It's bringing them back to the original colour and texture back from the day. I did see a couple of buildings. I think I've taken some photos of some of the cleaner buildings that they've done. Frankfurt Airport, the station itself, I actually find it not too bad. I found it pretty convenient too. Staying where I stayed. I had the station there, I had the buses down there. I had the choice of the local train and the ICE. I think I might stay there again. And you didn't have that many riffraffs. I mean, they were getting chased out from there. Okay, CMD, I think we're going to have to get in touch. I believe that you are somewhere in Austria, if that's correct. We'll have to get in contact with you. Yeah, I should be in Austria, I believe. In the second week of next month, I should be there. And I'll be staying in Innsbruck. There's a couple of motels I'm looking at and I'm interested in. But now I can actually even start working on my plan on that. That's going to be interesting. Oh, excuse me. That's going to be interesting trips from one part of I'm in Linz when I'm not traveling. Okay, so you're traveling.
We're hitting Linz.
So are you traveling now or not? But anyway, that'll be probably one of the destinations I do end up coming into, so I'll let you know. Delmara, how are you, buddy? Buddy, you're very early, and yeah. Well, I'm only early because I am actually staying at my cousin's place. I am in Europe at the moment. And I do not want to be disturbing too much of the family members at 2 o'clock in the morning. Particularly with my young and Denmark. Oh yeah, okay. Because I've got my young nephew that's down in here and he does shift work. He's got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think he'll appreciate me doing the live stream at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And it would have been nice. I mean, it was nice of them to help me out.
And finish the live stream and start breakfast for him. He might appreciate that.
I'll come on. I was going to take him down to the local girls down the road here. He says, nah, not interested. Huh? Okay.
That should tell you something.
Yeah, stay away. Stay away from me. You'll have less headaches. So yeah, you're Swedish. Okay, well that explains a lot there, Tammy. No, I might be. We'll just see what happens with my layout. But yes, I have got some new stock. If you have a look at the videos from, I think it was last weekend or the other week, I actually, a couple of weeks ago, I actually showed up some some of the new rolling stock that I have acquired. Actually, no, that was in when I was. Yeah, well, I think it was last week. Did I do the stream last week at Hamburg?
I don't know. Last week we missed it because we were still. Was it? Yeah, we were in Copenhagen and we were out late with. I think that was the night we were out with Simon Jensen.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I did do the stream. That's right. I did do the stream on it. Well, I did do it on my own.
Yeah, you did it on your own because I couldn't get there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. I actually showed.
I was having the world's best ice cream and visiting one of the world's coolest train club builds.
That was actually quite intriguing, because I did actually show the some of the new acquired trains for my fleet last week. You might be actually you might actually like, and I got an email this morning that my night jet is ready to be dispatched. You remember those cars that I was supposed to get before I went away? They're getting ready to be dispatched. So I just got Lima hot metal torpedo cars. Oh, cool! That would have been great. But yeah, I've got a couple of really, apart from that engine that I got when I was with you, Anthony. I actually got another one that's like a limited winter run that Roco made. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but you might think it's pretty actually.
All the night jets are kind of cool. You just got to watch them catching on fire.
What the Tauruses?
The control caps on the passenger cars.
Yeah, well, that is something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. But these ones are the ones being
plastic on my rails.
Yeah. But these are the ones that have been refurbished and come back from the factory. The ones that got recalled. Bad Roco Nightjet. Well, we're going to see how bad they are, Raymond. These were the ones that were recalled, so and redone. So we'll have to wait and see when I get home.
I've still got anyway, two more chances to find either one of the locos I want, or there's a little toy shop up in Barnemunda where we're going tomorrow that's open 1 to 5. So after we go swimming, we're gonna pop over and check to see if this shop has anything. And then we've been through Frankfurt many times and we've kind of been there, seen that. So the only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna catch from our hotel, we're catching a subway and we're going out to the east side of Frankfurt and there's a Märklin shop out there and I'll see what that store has.
Right.
Been in a couple of stores. We didn't film anything and we didn't really buy anything. We bought little knickknacks, but that was it. Right. So we no more cool shop videos that like I had the first couple of weeks we were in Germany.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, now next weekend, I do not know where I'm going to be streaming from. So to everybody, including myself, that's going to be a mystery where I'm going to end up next Saturday night.
Well, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery, but we all know I'm a mystery too. It's a mystery that I'm still here. It's a big mystery how I'm still here. But yeah, I don't know where I'll be streaming from next week. Anthony and Joyce, you guys have a safe trip home this week.
Thank you.
Okay, remember when those engines quiet down, stop flapping your arms really hard to keep yourself up.
No, I'll be doped up. So I can sleep through the flight.
Okay, all right. So anyway, you two have a safe trip. Everybody on the chat, Thank you very much for coming along. Again, next weekend, while I'm still
Lean in and say bye.
traveling and coming back to this location, my stream will be still left at about this time, 4 hours earlier than normal, until I return back home. So until then, people, good night, luck on Orch, tschüss, and see you guys all next week. Bye.
All right, take care, everybody.